Hello, Accelerated Math 6-7 students. We are working in Module 6, and this is Lesson 8, and it is called Describing Variability Using the Interquartile Range. Describing variability using the interquartile range. The short abbreviation for interquartile range is the IQR. So as you can tell from this module, we have a lot of acronyms. We have MAD for mean absolute deviation. We have IQR for interquartile range. We have a whole bunch of different abbreviations that we're using to try to remember all of this stuff. The central tendency that you're going to use with interquartile range is median. So we're still working with what we learned in our lesson from the other day. The goal for today is we will describe the interquartile range of given data sets. The question that I want you to be thinking about is, how does the interquartile range represent an expected interval of data? Okay, things to know. So I need you to also keep in mind that we're still working with data sets. So we've taken a survey, we've gotten answers in numerical form, so it's a numerical type of data, and we're working with this data, and we need to remember that we're also using the median, so that data that you're given is going to be written in order from least to greatest or greatest to least, and then there are specific things that we have to know about it for interquartile range, which leads me to the first question of the things to know. What does the word quartile make you think of? Okay, quartile, quarter. If you even look at the very beginning of the word, you see quar, which could be similar to quad, which could give you the idea of four. And if you're on that track, then you're on the right track. Quartile actually means that you are going to break a numerical range up into 4 equal-sized sections. Okay, so we're taking a number line, essentially, and in the range that we have, this one happens to be 0 to 9. And what you're going to do is you're going to break it up into 4 equal-sized sections, okay? And the way that we do that is the first thing we have to do is find the median of the entire data set, okay? Find the median of the entire data set. Now, some of you are looking at this and you're going, wow, Mrs. Nelson, that doesn't really make sense. Well, you can't just go off of the number line. You have to look at your points and your data and use that. So basically what I need you to do is you need to write it out from least to greatest. So we have 0, 0, 0, 1, right? 2, 2, and then how many threes do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 threes, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have 3 fours, 1, 2, 3. Then we have 1, 5. Then we have 1, 6, and we have 1, 9. So this is actually our data set, and I got this data set from this dot plot. So now our job is, it says, first find the median of the data set. So the way we do that is we come and go, okay, you're gone, 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 you're gone. You can also use your fingers and just slide over the numbers until you find the middle. So let's keep going. And as you see, the middle is 3. So put a rectangle around the middle of the data. So here's my rectangle around the middle of the data. Okay? Then it says find the median of the data set from the median to the lowest data point. So this is the median. This is the lowest data point. So now we're going to find the median in between these guys. Okay, so I'm going to use my pencil so we can use a different color. So this one crosses out this one crosses out this one crosses out this one crosses out this one, and this time put an oval, it says. Okay, and the number happened to be 2, so I put an oval around the 2. Okay, this one right here is the median. Remember, median. Sorry, I was getting that confused. So that's the median. And then this one is the lower quartile because the lower quartile exists from the median and down to the smallest data point. And this over here is called the upper quartile. And it's called the upper quartile because it's from the median going up to the numbers. So the numbers are increasing, so that's the upper quartile. The numbers are decreasing, so that's the lower quartile, okay? So now the third thing you're supposed to do is you're supposed to find the median of the data set from the median to the highest data point. So let's go over, here's our median, and then here is our highest data point, and now we have to find the median of those, okay? So this one takes out this one takes out this one takes out this one takes out this one, and then I have a triangle around that one. So that's why we put a triangle around the 4, because that's the median of the upper quartile, okay? So now we found 3 things. This one is the lower quartile, right? And this one is the upper quartile. And then this is the median. So that's how we label them, okay? The other thing that we do sometimes when we find these is the upper quartile is known as the quartile 3, and the lower quartile is known as quartile 1, okay? And so that could be another name for it. So now it says to find the IQR, because IQR is the name of our title. So what you just found is you found the median of the lower quartile and the median of the upper quartile, and what we're trying to find is we're trying to find the variability of the interquartile range. So that means what do we have in the middle of these, okay? And so to find the interquartile range, you take the data point of the upper quartile, which happened to be 4, and you find the distance to the lower quartile data point, which was the 2, and so you remember it as IQR equals Q3 minus Q1. So if we take 4 and we subtract 2, what do we get? So the IQR on this one would be 2, because you're taking 4, which is quartile 3, minus quartile 1, which happened to be 2, and you get 2. So the IQR is 2, okay? And that's how you find it. All right, so now it's your turn to practice, okay? And it's called Let's Try It. 12 kids read books over the summer. Here is a list of the number of books each student read. The number of books read over the summer were 8, 1, 6, 0, 3, 9, 6, 1, 6, 3, 9, 4. Okay, so remember, the first thing that we're doing is we have to write all of the data points in order, and we're going to do it from least to greatest. So the smallest point I have is 0. We'll cross that out as we write it. Then we had a 1. Then we had another 1. Now it looks like 3 is our next lowest. And then we have another 3 here, so we're going to write that one. Okay, keep looking. So now 4 is our next lowest. Okay, keep looking. It looks like 6 is our next lowest. 6. 6. Okay, keep going. Now 8 is our next lowest. And then we have 9. And then we have 9. Okay, we have all of our data points from least to greatest. Now it says find the median of the data set, which is known as Q2. Okay, the median is Q2. So I'm going to show you another trick. Remember how I said you could just cover up until you get to the middle? So here it is. Okay, we have this one and this one, 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 and then we have 2 left in the middle. So remember what I said that you had to do when you have 2 left in the middle? You have to add them together. So we're taking 4 plus 6 equals 10, and then we have to take 10 divided by 2, and we get 5. So the median, Q2, equals 5. Okay? Then it says find the median of the data set from the median to the lowest data point in quartile 1. Okay, so since the median right here happens to be 5, we're going to write it in. And so our new section that we're going to be looking at is 5 to 0, because we're going lower quartile. So 5 takes out the 0, 4 takes out the 1, 3 takes out the other 1. So what am I left with? 3. So quartile 1 equals 3. Okay, and now we're going to do the same for quartile 3. So we have 5 takes out the 9, 6 takes out the 9, 6 takes out the 8, and so the upper quartile, or quartile 3, is going to be 6, I think. Let me do it again. Hold on. 5 takes out the 9, 6 takes out the 9, 6 takes out the 8, yep, 6. Okay, So now we know all three quartiles. We have quartile 1, which is 3, quartile 2, which is 5, which is the median, and quartile 3, which is 6. And remember, lower quartile is quartile 1, and upper quartile is Q3. Okay, so that's how we remember them. All right, so now our job is to draw it on here. Okay, so we're going to make our number line, put all of the numbers in the data point. So you actually have to write all of the numbers, even if they don't exist. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'll just put 10 on there for good measure, even though it's not in there. Okay, so I have a number line, 1 to 10. Now I am going to put my dots above the data that I have, right? So actually, we don't need the dots. We actually just have to put the dots for the data we have, and the data that we have are the quartiles. It's not a dot plot. It's going to be a box and whiskers plot is what it's called. And so we're making the box. The way that you make the box is you start at the median. Okay, the median is the middle point, so you draw a line like that. Okay, quartile 1 is at 3. Quartile 3 is at 6. And so now what we're doing is we're drawing a box. Okay, and so this is called a box and whiskers plot because you have a box that's formed that contains the median. So remember, the median is the middle line, so this one is quartile 2. Okay, quartile 3 is the lower quartile, so this is quartile 3, and this is the upper quartile, so, or excuse me, that's 1. Sorry, that's confusing. Quartile 1. Sorry, boys and girls. And then quartile 3 is up here. Upper is always quartile 3. Okay? All right, and then the way you add the whiskers, because you have to tell what the entire data spread is. What is our lowest number in our data points? Look up here, 0. So I'm going to draw a whisker out to the 0, put a dot on it, because that's the lowest number that we have. What is the highest number that we have? 9. So I'm going to put a dot above the 9, and I'm going to connect a whisker. So you actually learned something different than just the IQR. This is really cool. It's called a box and whiskers plot, and that's how you draw it. Okay? So now, how would we find the IQR? Let's see how we remember. IQR equals what? Taking quartile 3 minus quartile 1, and then you get an answer. So quartile 3 on this happens to be 6, minus quartile 1, which is 3, and so your IQR equals 3. Okay? Boys and girls, how are you feeling about this? Okay? If you're feeling a little overwhelmed, don't worry. We're going to practice it some more in class, and I think you'll be good. Number 1 things to remember about this. First, put your data points in order. Second, find the median, which is Q2. Third, find the median of the median and the bottom half. That's Q1. Then find the median of the median and the upper half. That's Q3. And then to draw it on the graph, this is what it looks like. And then to find the interquartile range, you take Q3 minus Q1. Okay? All right, let's go back to our goal for a minute. Today we will describe the interquartile range of given data sets, which we did. Okay, we said that the interquartile range happens to be in between 3 and 6, with the median being 5. The lowest point in the data set was 0. The highest point in the data set was 9. So you just described the interquartile range. Okay, how does the interquartile range represent an expected interval of data? The reason why this represents it is because it's telling us, and if you look at your graph, it's really helpful to see this. We only have 1, 0, and we have a highest point of 9. But if you look in the middle of this, the center or the central tendencies of that data is you have quite a few 3s, quite a few 6s, and then when you find the middle of in between 3 and 6s, it happens to be 5. And so that picture really represents what our data looks like up there. Okay? All right. I know it's a lot, but I think you can handle it. Okay? And that's all I have for today. I'll see you all later. Bye!